So I had a little agreement with my girlfriend. She said that you don't have to make budget builds, and I was like, yes I do. She was like, no you don't, you think a budget build's like £2,000. I was like, okay, yeah, you're right, okay, you get the components as you did. So this is going to be an AMD build, and we're using the Aerocool Rift case, and this is going to be awesome. So Aerocool were like, yeah, check this case out. So this is a budget case, £37, and it's got RGB in it. Most people like RGB, so we're going to go with that. It doesn't have tempered glass, but that doesn't make no difference because we have got a see-through panel, which is going to be acrylic. But everything in this video, I'm going to literally put underneath the video so you will know where to purchase it all. Everything. And this is going to be all from scratch, as I said, running Windows and everything like that, no problem whatsoever. This looks like glass. Freaking looks like glass, but it's acrylic. Don't it look like glass? That's cool. That's cool. £37. It's cool. So we're going to do like a little review on the case as well before we go into the components. But we're going to go into the components right now so I can explain it to you why we're doing a balance build, because you told me purposely to do a balance build because it makes all sense, and then we'll put all the prices on there as well. So we went with an RX570 with 4GB of memory because technically this is going to be great for 1920 gameplay, so you can play with PUBG and Fortnite and all those sort of games. You're going to have no problems whatsoever. Plus it's RGB and it's a Radeon graphics card. So with this being, we've got a 20, is this 20G? No, I've got a 2004G AMD processor. And basically, I think this is quad core. Yeah, quad core, 8 threads, 3.9 GHz max boost, 3.6 GHz base. But this has got the Radeon graphics in it. I think Radeon 54 or something like that. RX Vega graphics are in there. But that means that you can play a couple of games with it without a graphics card, which keeps the price down. But technically you need a graphics card because it makes a lot of sense. I've also got a mechanical hard drive. This is a 1TB Toshiba P300, and this can store all your data and all your information on. And it's just big enough to be able to do more stuff and just keep a little bit more security and stuff. Then we're going to go with the Aerocool power supply. Now, she made a bit of a mess up because on the back it's got spaghetti junction cables, but you're not all about that. You're all about aesthetics as well for the price. But it's 500 watts. It's going to be enough to power all of this system and last out for a decent enough time. And obviously it's got enough cables to plug in everything on there, like obviously a hard drive and SSD or anything like that you choose. And it's also 80+ bronze certified. We've got 16 GB of 2400 megahertz RAM. And I'm not going to go through the latency speeds or anything like that. It's just Corsair is pretty solid, but there's different dies and stuff like that. But this is meant to be budget, so you don't really care about it. This is just to make it run at a decent speed and stuff. Anyway, we went with a cheaper motherboard, but we wanted to do some overclocking if we wanted to, so we can push this a little bit more. That's why we went with 500 watt power supply. We could have gone with 450, but 500 is a better way to have more headroom for everything else. So this is the ROG-STRIX-RX570-4G-GAMING gaming, a motherboard, and you can overclock with this. It's RGB as well. So as you can see, the theme is RGB, 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 but not too much RGB, but just enough RGB to show that it's not too expensive, but it's budget orientated, and you can do overclocking if you want, and you're going to have full resolution. You should get decent resolution, which we're going to check out on the BenQ Zowie 2411p, and that's 144 Hertz. So we're going to see how much frame rates we're going to get from all of this. So we've got that hard drive. You're thinking, oh, it's going to be a little bit slow, but we've got an NVMe as well. We've got a Corsair MP300. So this is 120 gig NVMe, so just not normal SSD, NVMe that runs 3 times the speed of reads for your hard drive. So say you've got an SSD, it's 3 times going to be faster. But SSD, it tops out at 400 and so 460 megabytes. Right, so this is all the stuff that we're going to be using, but we're going to talk about the case real quickly. So this case was chosen because this is why we were doing this AMD build, because AMD get good bang for buck and performance. Plus you can do overclocking with a Lubber M board, and I didn't have to go for the 470 series, so that's cool. Anyway, on this case, got an Aerocool little logo there, you got the RGB strip on the side there, you got an LED button on the side here. And do you know what's even funnier? If you really want to use it for video production or photography, like low-end video production and photography, even though it's just a normal case, you probably could put inexpensive components in there and just hide it over. But yeah, it's still quite an attractive case just by looking at it. Got a power button on the top, Microphone jack, headphone jack, two USB 2s, one USB 3, a reset button, a hard disk indicator, LEDs right there, SD card reader, and a small micro SD card reader. You've got a filter at the top to keep everything clean, so it's just easy to manage, and big holes to breathe from the top. You've got a 120mm fan at the back for exhaust. Then you've got 7 expansion slots with screws so you can get them out, and then, no, hold on. Oh no, they do, they work with screws, so that's cool. So I've got a bracket, can take them off. They normally have to break them off to get these out, no problem whatsoever. And then on the side, it's obviously acrylic, it looks like glass. It's got 4 thumb screws on the front there, so just be careful that you don't like over tighten it because you scratch it. You've got breathable holes as well for a nice little bit of intake on the side there. The case is really quite light as well, so it's not so bad. And we've got no breathable intake there, and we've got no other way of breathing other than underneath. And a little bit of air holes there for the mechanical hard drive, which we've got down there. Another filter which can take out and clean. Some foamy pads there so it doesn't scratch your desk. They kept everything all in a real good budget for £37, man. It's really quite crazy. Right, so I'll take off the sides. Got thumb screws on the side here. Get them out. No real handle. You're gonna have to use your light nails to get it out there. A little bit of flex, but pretty decent for some cases that are about £100. And yeah, that's pretty good. Got a bit of cable management, about finger width around the front here. We've got an SSD mount here. Should have got an SSD really, but we've got. That's really cool because I've done some case reviews that are about 50, 60, 70 pounds, and they don't even come with these. Now these are extensions of like getting the hard drives in. So you put a hard drive in and you just close them up and it locks in. Makes your life a lot easier. You've got 2 of them in the actual case as well. Plus you've got instructions and stuff. Everything's going to be easy to manage. I pulled the front off, and that's not too bad because you've got 2 cables at the front there, and I can pull it, no problem. Now let's have a look inside there. You're getting quite a lot for your money with this case. Right, I need a screwdriver to do the front because it's a mission. Would you, could you believe this? So this is acrylic, and it looks like freaking glass. They've made it look like glass, but you have to be careful with it because you don't want to get any scratches on it. But it looks like on the back, it hasn't got plastic on the... oh no, it does. It's got plastic on the back. And it's got this frosting edging to make it look like glass. And it's got a slight tint to it. But it's freaking weird. But it's light and it's easy, it's manageable. To be honest with you, you could take it with you on the road because the case is quite light. So you can take it for LAN parties. We've got some simple instructions here. And the cables are at the top there as normal because this is a budget orientated case. But what I can see right now, you got the spaghetti junction cables, but they haven't done loads of them. They could have tidied it up a little bit more. So we've got we've got USB, HD audio, and you know how much I feel about these with the USB connected to the USB 3. Just get rid of that. But we've got a USB card reader. That's nicely flat ribboned cabled, and so is the I/O front. So I don't know, the cables are nice and long so you can get to do your things. You can put 2 120mm fans there so you can have one blowing down to keep the hard drive nice and cool if you want it to. And then one there to just breathe around inside the case. You've got a nice little cutout bit there as well to show off your power supply if you choose to do so. You've got a Molex connector and a DC power out for this fan. At least you get 1 fan for £37. Jeez, it's crazy. Yeah, so basically you can put an SSD on the back here where it says SSD. You could probably put it on the front there as well if you wanted to. Oh my god, where did this come from? What's this? So, oh, this is cool. So this is for your RGB, so you can have all control from it. This is your eSATA power. So they didn't give you Molex for that, they gave you eSATA. So I can't believe how much you're getting for your bang for buck with this. This is cool. But on the front, there's nothing in the case whatsoever, but it gives you enough room to give some pull of air and that. But anyway, enough talking about this. Let's get on with the build. Oh yeah, by the way, you get all your screws and that as well, and the cable ties. That's the main thing. But I need to know, just real quickly, do they include standoff screws? That'd be amazing for this case. Absolutely amazing. You got 4. It looks like you got 8 screws to do like a little bit of wall cording if you wanted to stick a rod on it. But yeah, you don't get the other You don't get the other thing on there, the standoff tool, which is annoying. But I wouldn't expect it for this, but if, it would just be nice to see it, because you get quite a lot for your money on this. Right, anyway, it's time to build this lovely case, and it's called the Rift. This is going to be your new gaming machine, and you're going to get all them frame rates per second on this machine, because I'm going to show you how. We're going to do a little bit overclocking, but we're going to do it from start to finish. That's what we're going to do in this one video. Right, let's get on with it. So first off, get the case all stripped out and ready to go. I'm going to put the cables back in here. I've got my side off and everything like that, so I can just pick this up. This should take me about half hour to build this computer from scratch. And that's a good thing, because then you lot can build your computer up really quickly. So when you get the motherboard out, don't forget to get the IO shield bracket and get the M.2 screw out, and also a SATA cable so you can connect your mechanical hard drive up. So now I'm going to do is move the motherboard out of the way for a sec, check this. So we are using the cooler, the RAF cooler, because the Wraith cooler. And this has got thermal compound at the bottom, so you don't need to find out that you need to have thermal compound with you. Also the CPU's got pins underneath, and it only goes in one way. So you need to lift the retention arm up and then just drop it in, and then that's in, that's nice and secure. And now what we're going to do, we're going to actually take these off as well, so we don't need these. And then we're going to screw this to the base of it, and we want the cable up this way so it's just hidden out the way. And that's how simple it is. And then just plug this in to where it says CPU, which it normally does. Oh, there we go. CPU fan, which is at the top. And you just plug it in, the 4-pin goes straight at the top. Then we screw this down. So M.2 is going there. I've got my M.2 screw as well. So this is where this goes. And then just push down, and then everything is nice and flush. And you will need a smaller screwdriver for this. And you just screw down. So I need to go on to this one actually. And it only goes in one way, so just make sure that you measure it up and then click them down. And you hear that nice clicking sound. And then I'm going to go with this one here and then click it down. Is that you need to put your standoffs on there. As I'm using a bigger motherboard or full-size ATX, then I've got to use this tool which doesn't come with it. So you just need to make sure that you use something that's similar to obviously tying it up with. We're just going to have to put the motherboard in, but actually before you put the motherboard in, you need to put the IO bracket in, and you just make sure that's the right way up. So my two USBs are at the top here, so it's exactly which way I'm doing it. So there you go, my bit's popped in nicely. Grab the motherboard, there we go, that fits in nicely. Then get your SSD screws to go and put these in the motherboard. That's what they've called them. I'm guessing the SSD screws are the same size as what the motherboard is. So what you want to do is make sure the fan's facing the bottom, so you have the power supply facing down. And what you want to do is get your screws, which are the hexagon screws. You need about 4 to 5, and then you secure the power supply to the back. We need to find the EPS connector, which is, so this is what needs to go into the board, and you clip it in at the top here, and that's in. Then I'll get the Molex connector. So now you want to get the 24 pin, and as this motherboard's a little bit bigger, it has to go in through here, and that goes here. So now we're going to get the mechanical hard drive out. I can choose any drive you want, bottom or top. I'm going with the bottom, and then put the mechanical hard drive in like so, and then it's locked in, it's ready to go. So SATA goes here. Get a SATA cable to connect to. Plug it in, that locks in, and then the Molex for the exhaust fan. Plug that in here. So this is going to be for the power, for the graphics card. Right, SATA goes into any port here. So we're just going to put it here at the bottom. USB 3, which is a blue one. And that's in there at the moment. USB card reader, so this needs to plug into USB, so I'll route this through the top again, and I'm going to grab the cable that says HD audio and bring it underneath the power supply at the back here. This goes here, goes right there. Then I'm going to grab the cable that's got USB. I'm going to plug that in right here, and this only goes in one way. So it should be nice and simple for you. And the card reader cable, I'm going to plug into another USB, which is going to be right next to it. So that's there. Front I/O for all the controls of the buttons, I'm going to go here. So this is for the front panel, and it's really hard to see what's on the bottom down there. I'm just going to check, see if in the motherboard, if it's got like a quick, easy plug-in for you lot. If not, then I'll have to just do it all manually for you. Then put the power LED in the bottom first, which is plus, and then minus, then power, then reset switch, then, oh, I've got to put the power switch there, I meant reset switch. Then I'm going to put the power switch underneath the reset switch, and then HD LED next to it. And that is your front I/O connected. For saving this to last, the graphics card goes in now. So this is why I've got my cable hanging out the side. So this is where my slot's going to be. And you want to also put it in the fastest speed. So this is my fastest speed here. Okay. So I need to take out this bracket. It's got 2 screws on there. Now I have to break these tabs. So I go inside, break that one. Normally it's the top one that's pretty cool that you can use, but it's not in use with this one. And then plug the graphics card in. It should hear a nice little slot click. And just bear in mind your battery's underneath there, and your battery is what you can reset the computer if anything goes wrong with it. So this is on there now. What I would do, because it's a little bit fiddly for this bottom bit, get this screw 1, 2, 3, 4 down first in there, so it's secured, and then you can screw the graphics card in. Right, just have it so the clip's standing up, and we'll just click into place like so, and then make the cable look a bit more tidier. And there you go, that is the computer being built. Let's put an RGB strip in there. Hey, I found an RGB one. So these are not addressable ones, but I do have addressable ones, but this motherboard only supports 12 volt, and it's got 2 12 volt RGB connectors, whereas the addressable ones are 5 volts. So, but these have got 12 volts as well. Right, everyone always asks me, how do you get the RGB to work on any of these cases? Well, this is SATA connector power, and this connects straight into your power supply, and there you have it. You've got the RGBs from the case, and then you've got a power button there that controls it as well. So now, just going to connect this all together, and that's the end of the computer that's built. And then it's time to do the fun part. Well, it's not really fun, but getting the software on and getting your games ready, because within a few hours you'll definitely be gaming at decent frame rates per second, so it's going to be decent, it's going to be fun. Right, so after you built your lovely computer, it's time to obviously get all the apps and everything going. But first off, before you do anything, obviously check the computer, make sure it's working, check that temperature's okay. So at the moment it's at 50 degrees, but the only reason it's 50 degrees because there's no front intake fans, there's no fans on the MOSFETs, there's only an exhaust fan and a CPU cooler. So on the CPU, and then graphics card, and then obviously the fan for the PSU is at the bottom. So there's no real fan air movement in that case other than that. And this is the BIOS. So next thing to do as well, so you could either just go in and then put Windows on these on your NVMe and hard drive, or you can go and update the BIOS. Well, actually, yeah, you can update the BIOS in the flash way, or you can do it another way. But if you want to see that, leave the links in the description down below, or leave the links in the comments down below, and then obviously I'll do that in another video. And these are the bits like AI Tweaker is where you can find to overclock your computer and stuff like that. But at the moment, we just want to put Windows on there and we want to check the drives. So we've got an NVMe, which is by Corsair, and we've also got a Toshiba P300 in there as well. So MP300 Force, which is Corsair, and the SATA 6GB is Toshiba hard drive. Now all I'm going to do is, everything should be set up. I haven't touched anything, so all I'm going to do is just come out of here, discard changes and exit. That's all I want to do, and hopefully Windows will just come on straight away without me having to do anything. Right, now it's going to start the format process, or what we're going to be doing, which I'm going to talk to you through. Before I talk about any more about Windows quickly, the fact is that I did try to find the cheapest, best like gaming mouse, so we can have this as a setup to add an extra £300 on, which would be keyboard, headphone, monitor and mouse. And all I've got is a G703 and a G903. That mouse is like 150 and the mat's like 110, so you're blowing your budget straight away with that. But just imagine that this is a G203, Prodigy G203 I think it is, and that mouse is like $18.99 with RGBs. It looks similar to this but lighter, and that's a decent mouse. I don't know what keyboard you should choose, but you can choose any keyboard that's got clicky sensations, so like brown switches, black switches, red, well actually, red, blue and brown I would say is for gaming. Blue's more like for typing as well, but you can use it for gaming. Brown and red is my forte, which I would use. But anyway, other than that, we'll talk about that towards the end of the video. So when we're on Windows here, we'll go to United Kingdom. Yeah, just go drop down menu and do it like that. My keyboard, I don't want it extended, I just want normal. And then next. And what we're going to do is going to do a custom install. You can normally, if you've got stuff on your drive, you can bring it over and still have like your documents and all that. But to save the problem, just do a custom install. Anyway, I don't have a product key, but I do. So just doing that. And then I'm going to use Windows 10 Pro. So next. Then I accept license terms and agreements. Then this is what I'm talking about. I'm going for a custom, so I don't want nothing moved over. So if you've got a drive and you've got stuff on there already, all your date photos and all that sort of stuff, you don't want to lose anything on that drive, like NVMe, SSD, hard drive, mechanical hard drive, whatever. Go to, don't use that drive. Use another drive, or use this file here. But we're going to be doing fresh, clean, writing over, format, virus, worms, everything all gone. But anyway, custom. Now, which drive do I want to put it on? So this is where it's going to be driving on. This is where it's going to be formatted on, I should say, or written on. So I'm just going to wait until all of this is copied over. Right, so we're on this screen here, and this is just Cortana, and it's what comes on mobile phones as well for Windows, and you can speak to it and stuff. So I want to turn this off. So okay, enough intro, let's dig in. So go past that. Now you just click on where you're from, go up or down on these little arrows. I'm from the United Kingdom, so yes. Is this keyboard the right layout? I'm using the UK version. There we go, United Kingdom. So yes. Want to add, no. But if you want to add another second layout, if you've got an American, Chinese, whatever, you can do that. I'm not connected to the internet, so I need to get an Infinite lead because this is not Wi-Fi. This is a budget computer, which I forgot all about. So now I have a network connected. I can download all the most up-to-date drivers for me and everything like that. So that's all I need is the internet. You can do it without internet, but I'd rather do it with internet because then it picks up everything I need to get everything going. So yeah, cool. Right, so we come to this page, set up for personal use. or set up for organization. You'll gain access to organization resources like email, network, apps and services. Your organization will have full control over this device. So technically we want this one. We'll help you set up your personal Microsoft account. You'll have full control over this device. So click that one, then next. Right, and after you've done that, it's Cortana again, flicking through screens and stuff. Right, we're almost done now, but what it is that the screen's smaller than, oh, the screen looks like it's getting bigger now. Because it was running at 60 frame rates a second, plus it was running through HDMI, and that's running through DisplayPort. So yeah, it's going to be, yeah, there we go, got the bigger screen now. So everything should be running nice and fluent and clean. And I really want to see if this can actually run 144 Hz monitor, which I believe that it can. So far, so good, looking good straight away, straight out. Because normally the video is just like blown out straight away. This is like it's already done. So this screen's 1920 by 1080. We go into advanced display settings, and as you can see, Zowie LCD, 8-bit screen RGB, refresh rate's at 59. It's not. It's going to be at 144. That's what we want to run it at. There you go. You can go 144 Hertz. Can this computer run it? Our server says, ding! It can. Okay. That's a good sign. That is a very, very good sign. So that means that we've got to try some games on it. So I'm going to have to download games as well. So first off, let me get everything that I need. Let's take out this because you don't need this anymore. As you can see, there is no mechanical hard drive that we put in, the 1 terabyte. Where do you go to sort that out? You go here, this one, desktop there, and then we're going to go to this little arrow here, and then we're going to go to control panel. And then we're going to open up category and go to large icons. Then we're going to go to storage spaces. And then we're going to go create a new pool storage space. Yes. And there you have it. The Toshiba hard drive 931 is there. It says unformatted drive. Then we want to go create a pool at the bottom. But we just want simple, no resiliency. So that means that what we're going to do is put everything on there. And if we lose anything on a hard drive, that's it, it's gone. But it's at the maximum speed, but you can customize it for however you want. But yeah, I'm just going with that, simple. And then all you have to do is go to create storage space. It's formatting storage space for us. But now, when we go to this PC, it will be there. And there it is. It feels really quite quick, to be honest with you. My girlfriend is kind of like telling me that I'm making computers way too expensive, and this computer feels pretty fast. But let's see how fast it is. I know it's a bit cheeky as well, Microsoft, I'm very sorry, but using Internet Explorer to download Google Chrome. So we're just running Chrome on there. And once I've got Chrome and everything, once I've got Chrome on there, that's when I'll go and get Winrar, because then I can unravel packages that I get from the internet to make sure it's all nice and safe and everything. Right, pin to taskbar, pin, yeah, continue. So now I'm going to download Winrar so I can unravel my packages. Install. I normally have these all ticked on. You don't have to. Depends on what you're doing. If you're using ISO virtual drives and stuff, you can do if you want to. Now I'm going to download ASUS drivers now, and we find where the motherboard is. So products, and then motherboards, and we want this is the one we want to download. So we click into this one. Right, there we go. And then we want to go to support. Right, then we want to go to drivers and tools, and then we want to go to Windows 10, 64, because that's what we're using. And there's all the drivers, and also the BIOS update as well. Technically I should update this BIOS, but I'm not going to do it now because it will take too long to do all of this sort of stuff. But that's the newest update, and plus I can redial if I want to. I'm going to download it, so I've got it there. Audio, you want to download audio, you want to download LAN, because that's what we're using at the moment. Chipsets, so I want to download that. SATA, because we've got it connected at the moment. So improve system stability, support AMD, AM4, NVMe and SATA RAID, so download that. And then obviously download Steam if you're on Steam. Download Cinema 4D as well, so install Steam. This is what I've done. I've logged into it, so it makes it easier. So when I'm downloading things like this, Fortnite, it will be there already. Yeah, so I'll just download it now. So now I'm installing it. So I'm just getting everything ready, and then also I need to go to AMD. So here is the processor that we've got. I'm sure it is. Well, this is what we need to get. We need this. So I need to download it. So download now. This is system monitoring your system. Now the warning, I'll have a load of things on it because technically when it comes to overclocking, you do need to buy an extra license so you can overclock, and if the CPU blows up, then kind of you can get your money back, or you can get another replacement. But technically if you overclock it, then make sure that you got that extra license for it, because that's what it's trying to say to you. Well, anyway, launch and exit. So I'm launching it and it's right there. Okay, so everything's in the background, temperature and all that, peak speed, voltage. But we'll come back to that in a sec. We want to just keep going on what we're doing here. So Steam, I'm going to just download that. Right, now what I want to do is get this chipset going in. So I want to just download all of this. So this will be all in my download. So everything I need will be here. Downloads, ASUS setup, click into that, yes. Installing driveware software, please wait. So after you've done that, you want to go into here where it says setup, and then this will create the audio thing. System needs to boot in installation, do you want to boot now? So it says system needs to reboot to complete installation, do you want to reboot now? I'm going to go cancel because I want to get everything on here, then reboot all in one go. So now I want Intel, so I want to sort the RAID out. So if it gets confusing like this, which I should have done it in a proper manner, is that you make little folders. So if I put Intel drivers, put that in there, and then I could grab the RAID NVMe, find out where it is, and put it in there. Then I can open it up, and then I can extract to one folder at a time. Then I will know where everything is. That would be the easiest way to do things. Now I need chipset for, is that the graphics card? So let's go to new, put chipset graphics. Okay, and then find out where that is on here. There, and drag it down till I find where I am. Right, and I'll just put it in there, and then I'll know where everything is. Extract it here. So just go to setup, and then go to accept and install. And this is especially made for this graphics card from AMD. Then I'm going to do an express install. As I said before in many of the videos, it's up to you what you want to put in there. You can go into custom if you know about graphics and changing certain utilities that you don't really want in there. You can do that, or just do express, which is just simple, just quick, and it keeps it up to date, and you can update. Or you can do a custom install and get like a beta version of your graphics card firmware. So that means that you could be riding on the newest driver, or you can go back a couple of months or a couple of years, depending on whatever you're doing. You can do stuff like that. Actually, I want Cinebench, that's what I want. So I go out to products and go down to Cinebench, and then I'll go to download the Cinebench on Windows. And this will check the graphics and how fast the CPU can complete and give you a score or overall score. So Cinebench is opened up now. It's there even. And then you just right click it, run as administrator. It's going to show you quickly. Haven't done the graphics or anything yet. Plus I've got other things running in the background, so I'm not going to get the best score. So if I go to task manager, you can end everything, all the processes, but I wouldn't suggest that you lot do it just in case that you end the wrong thing. But yeah, everything's being used at the moment, but I just want to show you this quickly how it works. So I'm going to accept it. For OpenGL, that is going to be for the graphics card that you got in there, and CPU is for the CPU. So let's run it. So what it is doing is just rendering each frame. So if you were going to make something out of Cinebench or Cinema 4D, which is a 4D platform of making all of these things come to life, it normally renders 1 frame per second, and this is how it renders it. So the faster the CPU, the faster the graphics card, the faster this was render out and be done. But then you must have seen some of my other videos where you've seen it render like really quickly, and then I've got a bench score and benchmarking. And there we have it. We've got a base score of 582, but if I was to turn things off and do a fresh refresh, reset, and then go into it, then I would get a much bigger score. But it's still good though. It is still good. It's not bad. So I can now start to download my stuff. But I'm going to do that after the restart. And then once I've done that, then you're basically ready to game. But anyway, I'm going to run Time Spy, see what benchmark we get out of it. So we've got a score of 3,588, and technically, what's your score? Leave it in the comments down below what you got with a similar setup to this. Now we're going to test PUBG first. Right, so let's go. Let's start. Let's see what's going down. Yeah, so as I was saying, this game is running like at 74 max. I've seen this on the highest settings. A little few drops there. Well, we've got 76, 68, 75. It's running pretty nicely. So look at that, shaking that screen like crazy. Everything's still just handling business on this little computer, this budget orientated computer. 80 frame rates per second, okay. I drowned? What? What even happened? Oh my god. I made it and then I drowned. That don't make no sense. Right, time for Fortnite. Everyone likes to play as well. Oh, the computer went up to a temperature of like 70 something degrees. I definitely recommend you get some fans. Right, now it's asking me, would you automatically apply the best settings to the system? So I'm gonna go confirm. Let's see what happens. And then I'm going to go in settings to see what it automatically done. So it put, what did we put me on? Okay, so that's pretty good. View distance, far, shadows, high, anti-alias, epic, textures, epic, effects, high, and post-processing, epic. And obviously V-Sync and motion blur, that's all off. Cool. Rate limit 60 frames. Let's see if we can. We're running 144, so let's see what that does. Apply. All right, let's see the frame rates per second we get with Fortnite now. Right, I can hear some shooting going off, and yeah, so far frame rates look really nice to clean. My internet's running a little bit laggy, but other than that, it's not too bad. So it just shows that you can literally buy a computer under £600 and have it gaming and get high frame rates per second, plus have a monitor that can run 144 Hz from the actual PC. It's meant to be budget. I'm very surprised. So let's see what I can do with a lower budget area computer and see if I can do anything lower. Anyway, if you like this video, subscribe, share, like, follow me on all social media platforms, and I'll see you next one with the under £500 build, and then we'll see what we can put together. Anyway, thanks for watching. Roger and out.